watching these teams play, and we know how good they are. The youth in this league was second to none this year. You could have put 8 to 10 kids on that all-freshman team that were terrific. Michigan State had a phenomenal year. When you go on the road and you're Minnesota, who doesn't qualify for the Big Ten tournament, you win 2 games in LA, and the same team who won the league, Michigan State, went to LA and lost 2. It speaks volumes to the coaching, it speaks volumes to the players, the fans. So no shock that it went 8-0. So I guess that meant Oregon and Michigan State won as well. So.
You've gotten to watch Will Riley heaters since this summer. What is it like seeing it on the biggest stage, or is the incident of the tournament?
Well, I was wondering if it was going to happen with the 2 layups he missed in the first half, but that's what he does. He's gifted. He's very talented. He's an elite shot maker. I say he's very slippery because he's very hard to be physical with, and everybody tries, and they try to do this and try to do that, and he finds his way to his spots. But to really fight through the couple missed layups and nerves early, to settle in, he did a nice job.
He said it's uncharacteristic for him to play up to the crowd the way that he did, but what does that just say about the atmosphere that was out there tonight?
Yeah, it's the NCAA tournament. Kids have to have fun, and they have to enjoy this moment. And we've been talking about that since Selection Sunday. And you got to enjoy hearing your name called, and you don't take this for granted. It's really hard, and those who keep playing professionally will always look back upon this as the best times of their life. And they're living with these guys in apartments, and they're eating together, and man, this is so cool. And so I'm glad he had some fun.
Right after Duke, you said Kylan was the first guy you look at in that locker room to get it right. What did you find with him, and how big has he been?
A guy who cares, a guy who wants to win, a guy who wasn't afraid to challenge other players. And leadership is really hard sometimes because you have to tell people stuff they don't want to hear, even though they're good friends. And Kylan stepped up to that role, and he'd had enough, and we got back to practice. He's fun to converse with because he's cerebral. He understands the game. He was involved in our changes. He and Tommy and some of the other guys, but Kylan he's been in those battles. He's been in those games and knows what it's about, and he was huge.
Coach, we were all in Indianapolis last week, and the mood was very different. It felt, especially
What night?
Friday, both days.
I mean,
it's totally different. What changed?
I thought it was pretty doggone good against Iowa. I don't know what you're talking about. I had a party after. I had a party after the game. I mean, depends how you look at it. I thought the best thing about the Maryland game was Merez got to play. Tommy was in foul trouble, and I think we learned a valuable lesson. They punched us. We didn't get up off the mat. We were very flat, and lesson learned.
So many guys played well tonight. I mean, that's kind of the Illini way too. I mean, guys took turns kind of taking over, it seemed like.
Kaspers was 1 rebound away from a triple-double in the NCAA tournament. I mean, and we didn't even take him to media. I don't know what our SID's doing. But that's who we have to be, and that's who we have been. We had 8 guys score over 20 in a game. We missed Thomas Lobb, obviously, when he was out. We saw what he does tonight, rebounding, defending, his ability to make threes, stretch the floor, and then post. So, we've got some guys who are capable.
I already heard them saying things like, "This is not what we came here to do. It was just win one game." How do you help them quickly turn that page to Kentucky?
Ask him about what he's talking about last week and the crappy feeling we had after that game. And it's not day to day, So we'll go back and try to get to bed before 1 or 1:30 and get some rest, and then we'll do our part to get ready. And you've got to perform. It's one game at a time. It's be your best that day, or you go home.
Brett, you've talked about Caden's basketball IQ. How does he instinctively kind of know, like tonight, hey, I need to get Will on a heater. I need to get Tommy I need to get time at the ball. He's made a couple.
We asked him most of the night in the second half, what do you want to run? What do you like? And it was not. I mean, we were jiving. We had a good sync going because it was get Will the ball, and Kylan's in that, that same mode, and it's pretty nice when your quarterback, point guard is in the same realm of thinking that the head coach is. So it's a pretty good deal.
After Wills and won in the second half, he wound up in front of the band and was pumping up the crowd. And you don't see that all the time from him.
That's fun. That's what this tournament is about, and those memories. And we've got to let guys enjoy the moment. That was a heck of a play, and very unusual for him, very uncharacteristic. But I mean, it was. Our bench was going. It got me going. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. It wasn't taunting anybody. It was just a let out of emotion to our band, and that's what this thing's about.
Brad, Tommy's got a ripped jersey and some blood on his hands. How physical was this game, and how different is that now that you are?
Yeah, Tommy showed me his hand in media day, and I just told him toughen out. I don't want to hear about all that, but they threw a lot of bodies at him. Hughley kid's a big kid and heavy, and it's nice that he's been able to sustain some of that from a conditioning side that he didn't after mono. So I was really pleased with his performance.
Xavier pushed back a little bit at the end of the second half, a little scoring drought, and then you guys bounced back. How has this team grown in closing games throughout the year?
Well, they're really good. I don't know if you know, they've been number one in the country at three-point shooting in the last 6 or 7 games, so it wasn't a shock. We had a couple of late clock glitches, but yeah, we're handling those situations much better. Just having been through them and kind of living in the moment, understanding Kylan's a resounding personality on the court in those moments, and I thought we did a nice job.
How does a win like this help build this young team's confidence heading into the biggest part of the season?
I guess we'll find out on Sunday at 4:15, right? I think a lot. I hope they enjoy it, but I hope it's like I told them. It's not. Tournament's not about one game. You have to win one to advance, but you also have to keep the levels in check. That you don't expend them all in one moment. Got another one to come.
This will be our last one. We got to wrap up. We're going to the bus.
Who calculated the record and informed you of it? Tommy.
Derek. What was somebody? You told me the record for
three-pointers.
Most threes by a 7-footer in the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
I just repeat what I'm told. I'm a very good soldier. I mean, I'm not near smart enough to come up with that on my own. Thank you.